Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. About a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I did a video about Umar Johnson in response to a video that was posted on the Boyce Watkins channel raising questions about Dr. Umar Johnson. And as I said in my video, I think that those questions were legitimate. But in that same video, I questioned the motives of Maria Lloyd. I questioned her motives, and I still do today. And I question the motives of others who post videos attacking this brother, Dr. Umar Johnson. Some of these people are not attacking him because they are genuinely concerned about what kind of degree he has. They're not attacking him because they're genuinely concerned about what kind of school he's going to set up, or if he's going to set up the school. They're not genuinely concerned about the actual use of the funds in question. They're not concerned about those things. Really, these people are motivated by their hatred towards this brother. They are motivated by their ideological disagreement with this brother. They are motivated by their desire to frustrate his efforts to do something in our community. And this is something that really needs to be addressed. We really need to address the motives. Of course, we need to address the underlying arguments that are being raised, the underlying questions that are being raised. Those need to be addressed, as I said in my first video. And Dr. Umar Johnson should address them. But we also need to address the motives of these people who are not genuine. The motives of these people who are basically trying to attack this brother out of ideological disagreement. Who are basically trying to attack this brother because they disagree with his agenda. That's what the real issue is with some of these people. They disagree with a brother who proclaims his love for black women and urges black people to promote black love. They hate that message. Everybody doesn't have to accept or believe in interracial marriage. They don't. But some of these people are so hate-filled because they disagree with his position on interracial marriage that they want to do everything in their power to undermine what this brother is doing. And that's wrong. That is fundamentally wrong. People are attacking this brother because of his position on homosexuality. Because of his position on that. That's why a lot of these people are after this brother. They want him to go along with the liberal playbook, where you agree with everything that one particular party has in their position papers. You have to agree with everything that they stand for, or you're some kind of enemy or something. You have to agree with their position on gay marriage and all these other issues in the eyes of some of these liberals. You got to agree with everything, or they view you as some kind of threat, as some kind of enemy. And that's what's happened with Dr. Umar Johnson. Because he's taken a bold and courageous stand against the homosexual lifestyle. These people hate this brother. They hate him for it. They hate him for simply calling out a deviant lifestyle for what it is. A deviant lifestyle. You know, they hate that. So I can't take somebody seriously when I realize that they have an agenda. When I realize that their motive is not out of concern for what is actually happening with these funds. They're not concerned really about what kind of degree this brother has. They just want to undermine this brother because he has a different position than they have on different issues. They want to undermine the brother because he's a strong Pan-Africanist, because he advocates for black people. They want to undermine him. They want to discredit him. They want to attack him. So we got to be leery of these kind of people that worm their way into our communities and undermine our movements. And I really hope that the brother, provides answers to a lot of the questions that have been raised not only to his supporters, but to the public at large, to lay to rest this nonsense, to lay to rest these attacks on his movement and, these efforts to discredit what he's doing. We've had people like this throughout our history, people who have divided and conquered the black community, the black movements for freedom. They whisper into this person's ear and whisper into that person's ear, and they spread rumors and innuendos that undermine the movement. It's one thing to debate ideas and to discuss ideas. It's one thing to come into a situation with ill intentions, come into a situation out of hatred, come into a situation trying to destroy a man instead of trying to actually find the answers to relevant questions. So we got to be leery of these people. And as I said before, when I saw Maria Lloyd's video about Dr. Umar Johnson, it was apparent just from her demeanor, her attitude, her tone, her body language, that her intentions were not righteous intentions. They weren't expressing true concern about the plight of black people. This woman had a chip on her shoulder. This woman clearly had some issues prior to even doing the video, prior to these questions coming up. I'm sure that some of these people, if it wasn't about these particular questions being raised, they would find some other reason to undermine this brother's effort to establish a school for black boys. And I find that to be despicable, man. I find it to be repugnant that you have these people with ill intentions trying to undermine this brother. It's one thing to raise questions out of true concern. It's quite another thing to just raise questions for the sake of undermining somebody, for the sake of getting more subscribers and more views. As far as I'm concerned, people who do those types of things, they are worse than parasites. They are worse than pubic crabs, as far as I'm concerned.